once was a magical book containing all the secrets of the world. It was protected, bound by a sword, awaiting a righteous and noble soul whose heart was pure, not tainted by greed or a desire for power. A day will come when the book finally meets its rightful owner. Till then, many men will come forward in attempt to claim it. Before we get into the DIY, I just wanted to say this is part of a challenge hosted by Casey from Coffee with My Sunshine and Julia from the Mug Life DIY. The links to their channels will be in the description box along with a playlist. So my first thrift find was this book, Stephen King, Outsider, and then my second find was this toy sword. And I know it's a weird combination, but when I was in the shop and I saw these two, I just had an idea come to my mind straight away and I knew I had to try it. So I'm going to start off with the sword, and the only work that I have to do on the sword really is just cut it in half. So I'm using this tool here, which I will link for you in the description box. It is a wood burning tool, but it comes with lots of different heads. So I'm just going to put it to the sword and then it's just going to melt so we can cut it. There you go, you can see there. Okay, so now my sword is in half. I'm going to put this aside and we're going to start working on the book. So to do that, just remove the cover that's on there. And I'm lucky because this one is already black, even though I will still paint over it. The next thing you want is some tissue paper. I'm going to start cutting the tissue paper so that it covers the front part of the book and the side. So take your glue stick and apply some glue all over your book on the side and the front. And then once you've done that, you can take your tissue paper and then basically you want to sort of wrap your book in it. So we're just going to stick it down. Okay, so here's the book all covered now. I'm going to go over this with some Mod Podge just so that it can stick down a little bit more. Okay, so once you've done your Mod Podge, you can turn your book over to the side here, take your hot glue gun, and we're going to do some strips on the side here just for extra detailing. So I've only got blue because of my last project, but that's okay because we're going to paint over it. So I'm going to do one more here in the middle and then one on the end. And now I'm going to paint these black. So you can see what the tissue paper and the hot glue has done. It's given it a really aged look. So what we're going to do now is work on the main thing, which is sticking the sword in the book. Hot glue isn't going to be enough to stick it down because of the weight of it. So what you want to do is take your craft knife and we're going to slice a little bit of the book here so that we can fit the sword in. So to make it more sturdy, I've also scored into several pages of the book itself. So now we're going to hot glue it. Now we're going to tidy the edges here, so I'm adding a few more bits of black tissue paper with some Mod Podge. So you want it like this so that it looks really realistic, like the sword has actually pierced through the book. That way as well, you get to hide any imperfections and also any little gaps that are showing from where we've cut the book. So I'm going to add more detail to my book. I'm taking this, which is part of a collection I had from a scrapbooking range many years ago, and I'm going to stick it here. It already has these on, but I'm probably going to attach it with some hot glue just to make sure that it's nice and stable. So I'm going to add some tissue paper just like I did on the book here, and then I might add some paint later. Now I'm going to go over it with some of my matte Mod Podge. Now I've added my Mod Podge, you can see that helps the tissue paper take the form of the object. And then I'm adding my hot glue to just stick it onto the book. Next we're going to add in some colour and contrast, and this is also going to give it a more aged look. So I'm taking this bronze acrylic paint and my sponge brush. So you don't want to apply too much, you just want to dry brush it on, and that's why I use a sponge, because it's really good for this technique. Now for the last thing, I'm just going to cut this little bit here that says the outsider so that I can stick it here on the front. So I decided that I want the Stephen King instead. Now I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down. And then we're going to also dry brush that with some bronze colour. I went around the text with my Arteza pen, and then I'm adding a layer of matte Mod Podge over it. So here's the before in case you've forgotten, and this is the after. What do you all think? Please do let me know in the comments. I had so much fun making this. Honestly, I'm so happy with how it came out. It's just great when you have an idea and it just comes to life. If you have enjoyed this video, please do leave me a thumbs up and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.